Right guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be using some body filler to blend in this sill. So first off, obviously I primed the sill when I last worked on it just to protect it from rust and stuff. To kit it up I've just used a little bit of Scotch-Brite. So just to take the shine off. Not that there's a lot of shine on primer, but you know what I mean. So I've done that. If I'm honest, this area here is very good, so I'm probably just going to go straight with Dolphin Glaze on that bit. But this bit I'm going to apply some U-Pole normal P38 filler. Cheap crap, some people probably won't like it, you can get better stuff. Does the job though. Like I said before, this has had a previous arch repair and it's got, if I'm honest, quite a bit of filler in the middle because we've welded the arch and then dinted it in slightly because the panel was warped. So just there's a little bit of a low spot, but here's not too bad. So I'm going to put some filler on it, give it 20 minutes to dry, and I'm going to start shaping it using a sanding block. So I've got an onion board. These are really good. Basically, it's paper sheets where you can mix filler on. It's like a glossy paper. Really handy. I don't know why it's called an onion board. If you know, comment below. Got no idea. But it's just, I find it's a lot easier than trying to mix it on a bit of cardboard or whatever, like, you know, any old scrap you can find. Because you often find, if it's coloured card, the colour comes out and you end up with colour lines in your filler. You also find if it's like a ridged cardboard, you will end up struggling to mix it. So, filler, always mix it in. So as you can see, that the oil's separated. Make sure you mix that in. If you don't, it'd be really tough and hard to work with. If it's a big tub, you can shake it a little bit, but smaller tubs, I find it's just easy just to mix it. Now, technically, you should really be wearing a mask to mix this. It is it's a 2K product, so it's got a catalyst, so it is quite poisonous. However, it's not atomized, and it's a fairly ventilated garage, so I'm not overly concerned. I've done far worse. But just the top tip, probably wear a mask if you got any doubts, wear a mask. So, standard golf ball to a pea. So I'd say that was about a golf ball. I think we're going to need more than that though, so I'm going to go for 2. Put the lid back on. And then 2 peas of hardener. If you put too much in, it doesn't matter, it'll just go off quicker. If you don't put enough in, it'll just go off a bit slower. It will eventually go off, but I'd recommend trying to get it about right. If it's a cold day, I often put a bit more in. Today is a lovely, nearly spring day. It feels like spring, but it isn't. So, mix it together. Try not to get too much air in. I just wanted to tell you guys, I am actually self-taught all this. So if you think I'm doing it wrong, let me know. I've learned some things from the trades, but most stuff I'm kind of self-taught with. I've watched YouTube videos, just practice myself. So yeah, like I say, if you don't think I'm doing something right, and you think I'm doing it really wrong, just let me know. I've been doing things like this for 15 years though, and I've never really come across any serious problems. So, all mixed as you can see. I'm now going to use a bigger filler applicator to make it easier and go like that. So, I've not done this for a while. Ooh. So I will say you don't need to get it perfect. It's like some people try and make it really smooth. My experience is don't bother. Let the sanding block do it. This ain't going to be the finished coat. I'm going to use Dolphin Glaze. It's probably still going to have a low spot. It's probably still going to need some work, so just don't try. Just get it on and go from there. So for those that don't know, Dolphin Glaze is like a finer putty filler. It's has less air in it. It's a lot runnier. If I'm honest, I think it's harder to work with because it's a little bit denser, so it's a bit harder to rub down. However, it does a really good job of getting out all the little air holes, all the air pockets, all them kind of things. So it's good, and it will help make this look a bit better. So, right. I know that's far from perfect. However, for what I want, that's great. So what I'll do, I'll let that dry for 20 minutes. Then I'm going to get a sanding block. Now, some people use like an orbital sander or a DA to get the top off. Unless you're good at doing this, I wouldn't bother. Sanding blocks, you have to use them by hand. They're flat, and they're flat for a reason, so it'll allow you to take the shape off properly. If you use something like a DA or orbital sander or anything like that, it tends to feather the edge of the filler off and essentially curve it, give it like a profile like that. So it'll look good, feel smooth, you'll spray it and then you'll see the edge of the filler. You need a sanding block to feather it out perfectly. I don't think there's an electric or air powered tool that does that job as well as a sanding block. I know it's a little bit hard, it's physical work, but from experience, I can't do it unless I use a manual sanding block with something like this, Abranet cloth. Doesn't block up like sandpaper. It's really good. You can put suction on it if you want to, but start with a coarse, maybe 80 grit, 120 grit. Get the shape something like that, then go to 180, then 320 grit. Go from there. So that's what I do. Right, we'll let that dry. So this is the sanding block. It's well used. As you can see, it's nice and flat. Got Velcro here, and you can apply suction here. I don't tend to use suction, but you can do. And here is a brand new pad. So you can probably see, but it's not a paper, it's like a, I don't know what it is, some kind of plastic mesh. But it's very good, they last ages, and they don't block up really. So apply it like so. Wear a mask. You don't want to be breathing this dust in, not for long periods anyway. It's nasty stuff, so always wear a mask. And then, I'm not sure how well you can hear me now, but you kind of want to go like so, like so, like so, various different angles, try and get the shape. So I'm certain I'm going to have to put some more filler here because it's a bit low. So I'm just going to start. So, as you can see, it's quite dusty work. I've taken the top off it. It's very low in the middle still, which is what I thought. So I'm going to put some more filler in the middle and let it go off, and then work it again. So I've mixed some more filler. I'm going to apply a bit here. Hopefully you can see, but this is quite low. I'm not worried about getting it on the door or anything because the doors are going to be painted again anyway. The bottom half's actually painted grey. It should be a vinyl, but when I sprayed it a few years ago, I just did the bottom in a Rover Hurricane Grey in a 2K paint with a satin agent. I just feel like it stops the water from getting trapped. It's easier to apply. It's cheaper than trying to get vinyls. Yeah, and you can obviously polish it and stuff, whereas vinyl you can't. So yeah, it worked for me. Obviously, it's not everyone's preferred choice, but it works for me. Like I say, I'm not very good at stuff like this. I haven't done it for a while. So that's probably going to be low again, but all we can do is keep working at it. Right, we'll let that dry, and then I will be back to sand a little bit more. Right, that's all shaped now. I've added a little bit more filler because there's a couple of little low spots, and I've also gone along the sill where it's joined. Again, I'm not very good at this, so don't judge me. So I'm going to block that back once it's dry. The fan heater is now on just to help it. So once it's dry, I'll block it back, and then I'm going to go for some Dolphin Glaze on top to fill the imperfections in. So as you can see, I've used 80 grit now, so it's quite coarse. However, it's taking shape really well. Right, I've blocked the sill back. I've used 80 then 120 grit. I'm happy with it, but it needs the small imperfections filling. So I'm going to use the Dolphin Glaze now, which is ultra fine finishing filler. And it's to prevent like pinholes, air pockets, little things like that. So I'm going to give the whole thing a quick skim with this. Same mixing process, golf ball to a pea. So yeah, let's do it. Just give it a bit of a mix first. That's probably a little bit too much hardener, but never mind. So as you can see, it's a lot runnier. It's more like a thick emulsion, really. It's good stuff though. Like I said earlier, I find it a little bit harder to rub back. It's a little bit harder. It's more like a plastered finish. It's quite a glazed finish once it's set, but I guess that's a good thing, really. It means it's nice and strong. So we'll apply it now. As you can see, it kind of has self-leveling properties as well, like normal filler. It's much easier to put on smooth. Right, I'm going to let this dry now. I don't think it's going to take too long to put a bit too much hardener in. Let it dry, then I'm going to block it back with, I'll probably start with 180, then go 240, then 320 I think. That's the plan. That was hard work. So, finished. I've used 80 grit, then 120, 180, 240, and I've just finished in 320. So I'm really happy with that. Basically, I need to clean it up, degrease it, get rid of the dust, and then Scotch Brite right to the edges, just to key the top piece. I mean, I can spray the bottom half basically. Obviously, I've got to mask it off a bit, but I've done all the door shuts as well. Gone back to bare metal and inside the door shut. So I'm really pleased with it. It's come out really good because I haven't done any filler work like this for 5-6 years, probably 7 years. It's a long time, but no, it's one of them skills you don't seem to lose. So yeah, not bad at all. So guys, I'm going to wrap the video up there. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope a few people learned some skills from me, although basic. Once again, if you like what you see, please like, leave a comment and subscribe. Thanks guys, bye bye.